also I've received another package from CubeWorks. So I think this will probably be the last package I'm receiving in at least for a while. Although I received two like back to back within a very short interval. But what I have here is actually my prediction for what's going to be the best 4x4 and 5x5 on the market. Although the 4 will be tied with the Aochuang WR, 5 I actually predict it's going to be the solo #1 best 5x5, not tied with anything else, just occupying the position alone. I do have a bunch of cubes that I have not reviewed yet, in particular the MGC6 and the Qiyi MS 4 and 5, but you can comment which one you want to see first, the Aochuang WR and MGC4, or the Qiyi MS 4 and 5 and the MGC6. Okay, so starting first with the 4x4. Okay, that actually reminds me a lot of the Yisu P2M, except that it's faster and lighter. But it's not like super lightweight as I was expecting. I do enjoy the size of it, it's 60mm, although it's a bit bigger than my main, the Meilong. So, okay, right now I wouldn't say it's a fair, it's obviously not a fair comparison, and my Meilong is currently, my already set up Meilong is still better than the out-of-the-box MGC4. Obviously this one would get better if I probably break it in and set it up, but right now, it definitely feels really nice. It's very light, very fast, although it's not as light and as fast as I was expecting. I was really expecting an MGC5 kind of speed and lightness, which this cube actually does feel a little bit heavier, which is kind of understandable because after all an even cube is an odd cube but hidden in a layer, so you have the exact same piece count as the MGC5, but the pieces have to be made a bit, like, you pack the same mass into a smaller volume, so it does feel more dense, so to speak. Or not exactly the same mass, but a similar mass, so to speak. So I do think my current main is still a little bit faster and has stronger magnets, so it's a bit more reliable than this one. But then on the other hand, this is really tight it's out of box tension and also not equal. So assuming that if I were to equalize this tension and properly do this, I do see this becoming a really fast and really light cube. I know this is supposed to be the fastest and lightest 4x4 out there, but I guess I can only see that after it's properly set up. Now with the 5x5, okay, this one is really nice, super fast, and I think it's a little bit faster than what the MGC4 is right now. The magnets are also quite light, not very overpowering, and I can't really feel the strength of the inner magnets. Although okay, I can feel the snap, but I think less so when I'm doing U's compared to R's. But I think once again that's probably just the stop loop and the really tight setting that comes in out of the box. Okay, can already corner cut more than one piece out of the box, although I have to force it a little bit. Reverse, not so. Reverse is about 2/3. Compare that to my super broken in, not exactly that broken in, but quite broken in and set up Valk. I would say the Aochuang is actually about the same speed as my Valk, as in the fresh, not broken in Aochuang is the same speed as my, I would say 1 or 0.75-year-old Valk. Definitely the magnets, there's quite a strong difference in magnet strength, because this one I can really feel it snap, and the turning is, although I've gotten used to it, it's a bit more smooth, and I'm using an even snappier and stronger magnet 4x4 as my main. I do feel that the Valk 5 is a slight deviation from my turning style, although I think this one is a bigger deviation, but this one still is, meaning like I do prefer the softer and smoother, faster cube, which I think this one definitely fulfills the criteria. And another thing I really noticed that I haven't mentioned yet is the size. It's like this, the Aochuang WR really feels very small in my hands. So it actually doesn't look that much smaller than the Valk 5M, but it really feels a lot smaller to hold. And I'm actually not a fan of the small size. I think if there's one negative thing I can say about the Aochuang WR is the size. I'm usually more, in the past I've always been more used to bigger 5x5s, and I actually didn't welcome 62. I actually preferred 63 at first. But now that I've gotten used to the Valk 5, I think I do like 62 quite a lot. 61 would probably require some adjustment too, but I'll see how this cube performs if I were to get used to it. Meanwhile, another thing that I have to say is just, okay, I can actually force this lockup to happen, but it's really hard to force. And like, because the Aochuang WR is supposed to have a, okay, it's supposed to have this mechanism where this piece juts out, similar to the Aochuang GTS, the Aofu GTS, and the MGC6. So you definitely have very high hopes for both of these cubes. I would say comparable, equal advantage compared to the Valk and the Meilong 4. But but then there's another 4x4 that I don't have, and that's the Aochuang WR. I've borrowed that one before, and that one really nails the everything I want to see in a perfect 4x4. So it's easier for the Aochuang WR to take the position of best 5x5 on the market than it is for the MGC4 to take the best 4x4 on the market. Not because this is worse than this in any way, but there's just a more difficult rival to beat on top. But yeah, do comment which one do you want to see first. Do you want to see me review these two first, or these two, which I haven't reviewed yet, and the MGC6?